This video is made possible by the lovely people over on my Patreon. If you're interested in supporting the channel or you want to get your hands on some awesome high quality STLs, then please visit patreon.com/Will at Heroic Studios. What's going on, guys? Will at Heroic Studios, and I have just unveiled another printer of mine. This is one of the new printers from Anycubic, the Anycubic Photon M3. Now, Anycubic has been really on their game right now. They've been coming out with a large line of really great printers, from the Cobra line for the FDM and the M3 line. This one, though, is actually their standard version, and it's actually a lot bigger than the standard version when it comes to Elegoo's Mars or the original Photon. This thing is huge, it does a lot, but the one printer that I really want to grace my presence in is that Anycubic M3 Max. Man, that is a printer. One day. So I'm going to take you through all the awesome things that this printer does, show you some of the prints that I made, and let you guys decide. So let's get right into it. So first I want to take you guys through the size comparison. As you can see, the M3 is slightly bigger than the standard Mars. I think the screen in here is rocking a 7.9 inch screen. Here's all the specs right here that this thing has compared to the Mars. So you can see that the M3 is actually the standard version, then you have the M3 Premium, and then you have the M3 Max. There are some in-between sizes, and then you have the Mars, which goes straight into the Saturn, which the M3 Premium is the equivalent of the Saturn in terms of size. Not exactly, but somewhere there. So you can see that these two printers are extremely different. This one is a little bit more expensive than this one, but this one is faster, and you will see with the prints. So let's take it apart. Let me show you what it's doing, and yeah, let's get into it. All right, so here it is in all of its glory. We're going to take it apart. As you can see, the Anycubic has its standard yellow acrylic. I have been working really hard to keep this thing clean. Yes, I've used it a few times, so I wanted to keep my stuff clean. So yellow acrylic, standard for Anycubic. And then we have our build plate. So I'm just going to put on my gloves because it has been used a few times. Build plate is sandblasted surfaces. You kind of already see the scratches that are going on here, but you level it by pulling out these things here with your Allen wrench, and you level it just like you would any other printer. So this thing is actually a lot bigger than the Mars. Actually, let me go grab the Mars build plate so I can show you. So here's the Mars build plate, here's the M3 build plate. As you can see, this thing basically dwarfs it. It's kind of amazing. So, like I said, this is a standard M3. This is their base printer. This is where it starts at. This is the Mars. This thing has a ton of space that you can print. I've actually printed some pretty cool statues on just this printer alone. All right, going into the build plate, these things are kept down by these pegs that you have to pull out, just like with the bigger printers. I guess with a bigger vat, you end up having to have these little things screwed in. Now the vat is actually really nice. It is, I want to say metal, maybe aluminum. The vat is the only thing I have an issue with, because I don't know why Anycubic decided to do this, but if you need to replace your FEP, you can't just take out the FEP sheet, put in a new FEP sheet. You have to buy the whole entire frame and put it in there. Yeah, it saves time on changing out your FEP sheets, but it's also more expensive. I can get 5 FEP sheets for about $20–25. I only get 2 of the frames assembled with the FEP sheet installed for $20. So you can see how that can be getting expensive really fast. Sorry, couldn't find a FEP sheet. So moving on. Power button is on the side along with the flash drive that's right here. Easy to turn on, easy to switch off. Doesn't have it in the back, which I love. And so that's about it. So this thing is really fast. It prints smooth. The prints come out at a 4K resolution, and everything works great. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the prints that I did.
Well, that looks like he did a bang-up job there.
That's a whole mess.
All right, let's see how it looks.
Look at how clean this mask looks, solid. Just got out of the cure machine and surprisingly it fits my face. Wait, hold on. And next on my list, I did a set of Dragoon miniatures. So these look good. This is, if you haven't checked out his Patreon, go check it out. He does a ton of little Dragon Ball Z minis, which I think are pretty cool. So let's get these washed up and let's see how they came out. So here is the King Cold sitting in his throne by Dragoon Miniatures. This thing looks crisp. I didn't finish off the rest of the tail, didn't realize it was more tail, but you get extremely fine detail with the M3 Max. Everything looks good, everything looks clean, everything looks like it's supposed to be, and the details on the chair are also very, very sleek and crisp. I love the way this printer does his files and does his prints. Really looking good. This next Mecha Freezer miniature, a little bit less of the detail in the face, but in terms of all the other aesthetics on this figure, it looks really good. I printed this, I believe, at a 32mm height, so the details did stick out a lot. So I'm very impressed with what this thing can do in terms of miniatures. Not a bad printer if you're looking to do miniatures. And next is this Green Lantern mask by Yosh Studios. I wanted to see if the build plate would actually make a mask big enough to fit my face, and it did not disappoint. I used the Tech Craft glow-in-the-dark resin, and this thing looks great. It looks phenomenal, and the glow-in-the-dark feature is not half bad either. And last but not least, I printed this red Omega Ranger statue that is exclusively from my Patreon. This thing came out great. The 4K quality really brings out the suit as well as the muscle detail. Oh, look at them cheeks. Yeah, it does that too. Pretty cool. So this file is available over on my Patreon as a welcome gift for all new patrons. So go over there, sign up, grab it. You get this one as well as the other 3. And the base was printed on my Anchormate, which took like 3 hours. But all in all, this thing looks great being printed on my M3. I can totally get behind this printer. Awesome. So what do I think about the Anycubic M3? Solid printer. My only pet peeve is what I explained to you about the FEP sheet replacement. I don't like spending more money just to replace a FEP sheet. I would rather replace it using more time and more money, but that's just me. I'll give it a solid 8 out of 10. It does really good prints, the quality is great, and it's at an affordable price point too. So if you're looking to get a printer that's not an Elegoo Mars, then I would suggest maybe switching over to Anycubic and getting this printer right here. It's really nice, it's sleek, and it's super quiet, and I've never had any issues with it so far. So this thing, the price point is up in the corner, so if you guys are thinking about getting one, I highly recommend it. So that's gonna do it for this video, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Special shout out to my patrons up here, and if you would like to become a patron, check out my Patreon page, patreon.com/Will@Heroic Studios. Really helps keep the channel going, and you get some awesome STLs to print, like this Omega Ranger statue here. So see you guys next time, and if you have any questions, let's talk about it in the comment section. I will catch you guys later. Man, I can't wait to get the bigger version of you. Oh boy. Okay guys, see ya.